Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, the 21st day of October 2022. Happy Friday. I hope this Friday finds you healthy and safe, and that the same could be said for your family, that they're healthy and safe, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders, trying every day to save lives, especially on weekends. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks and wrecks, highways clean. And those that make deliveries of important things like food and water for our convenience. And the mail. Double blessings upon those who are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. And those also who are the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers peddling in human flesh. Finally, blessings upon the homeless, 600,000 men, women, and especially children on the streets of the United States, no roof over their head, oftentimes not knowing where their next meal is going to come from, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tonight, there's scheduled to be a basketball game. The New York Knicks are going to be playing the Detroit Pistons today in Madison Square Garden. It's the New York Knicks home opener for the 22-23 season. Now, the Knicks have beaten Detroit the last three meetings, okay, which is a reason to be guarded now because Detroit's going to be up for this game. They just beat Orlando for their first win of the season in their first game, and they want to continue that. In fact, there's talk out of Detroit that they're not even thinking about rebuild, that they're thinking about playoffs. So they're going to be very serious. Dwayne Case is a very serious coach, very high-level coach, and so he's going to have them prepared. They got, as we know, a number of young players. Sadiq Bey come out of Villanova. It's very solid. Isaiah Stewart, and of course, the budding stars and superstars of the future, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. They also got Jalen Duren, who played 21 minutes, had 14 points, 10 rebounds in their last game. Of course, they got once a Nick, always a Nick, Kevin Knox, who's also in their rotation. So they're going to come to Madison Square Garden hyped. Now, we, the Knicks, have a history of allowing young players and up-and-coming players to show out at Madison Square Garden. Last year, it was this Cam Thomas from the Nets, if you recall. Goes all the way back. Stephen Curry in his fifth season with Golden State dropped 54 at the Garden. Of course, there's the Michael Jordan double nickel. A lot of players come to Madison Square Garden and are getting hyped to play in the MSG, the Mecca, and turn out. So the Knicks have to be prepared for that. And this is one of the positives of having a Tom Thibodeau coach, the discipline that it's going to take to be focused. The discipline is going to take to play tough like they did the other night in Memphis, being down 19, not giving up, playing hard the whole time to take the lead late in the game, only to lose it through some questionable calls and whatnot. But this shows you the grit, the toughness, the discipline of the New York Knicks. So Tom Thibodeau brings that to this squad, and they're going to need that starting off tonight. Now, it's probable and it's more likely, I'll be surprised if Quentin Grimes plays tonight. I would be surprised if he plays tonight. I haven't heard anything. I don't know anything about the injury report, but just in terms of what we've seen in recent history, started off as a sore foot, went through the whole preseason. He showed he was able to play in one game, then all of a sudden it was sore again the next day. He was out against Memphis, and I expect him to be out tonight just to make sure that foot is healed before he comes back. In the meantime, though, we have might be one. It could become one of the great stories in that NBA basketball this year with Cam Reddish. Didn't really have a great preseason. Played good defense, and Tom Thibodeau was stressing that he did play good defense and he was taking good shots. But homie showed out against Memphis, especially late in the game. Showed out, and of course Tibbs showed that appreciation by playing him the fourth quarter, by playing him in the overtime. And Cam scored 22, but it was the way he did it, the drives to the hole, the slashing, and of course the game time 3-pointer to drive it into OT. That is the Cam Reddish I expect us to see. That is the Cam Reddish I compared to Benedict Mathurin. That's the Cam Reddish that I'd like to continue to have going forward. Now, there are people that will say about players, they need to be consistent. But one thing I want to say today, consistent minutes can bring consistency. See, people look at Obi and say, well, he needs to be more consistent. Consistent minutes brings consistency. If you're playing him 13 minutes one night, 22 minutes another night, 28 minutes another night, of course he wants to play, but it'd be better if he was getting that consistent 20 minutes every game. Okay? Inconsistent minutes can breed inconsistency. So for Cam, I'm thinking that he should definitely be in a rotation tonight. I think that's a 99% possibility. He's going to be in a rotation. I hope he gets 20 plus minutes tonight. That's going to be important. And I hope if he continues to play the way he was playing against Memphis, that he gets those closing minutes, because he is a guy that is built for the big stage, Cam Reddish. He's always kind of been like that. His best games have always come, even in injury-riddled season, his best games will always come in big stages, whether it be NC2A, playoffs, Atlanta, whatever. His best games comes in big stages. He's that type of dude, which means we know he's built for New York, because there's no bigger stage than Madison Square Garden. And there's no bigger stage than Madison Square Garden in the playoffs, right? But we're not there yet, but that's what I'm saying. So you got a guy that can show out in those times when you want him to. So for the Cade Cunninghams and the Jaden Ivies of the world who going to come in Madison Square Garden tonight, looking to make a name for themselves, looking to put a notch on their belt, that they did their thing at MSG, watch my man Cam. Okay? Watch for my man Cam. Now, I expect them to come out with the same starting five for now. They're going to come out with the same starting five. But Mobb Deep is going to be Mobb Deep. And you think, Mobb Deep really off to a slow start, actually, from the preseason a little bit and this beginning of the season. But I don't expect that to last too long. Obi's not going to stay shelled up for too long. Okay? Now, Manuel quickly. I think that he's in a funk, man. I think he's in a bit of a funk. And I mentioned before, the funk has to do with role. See, another thing that players like every player wants to start, right? Any player that ever played basketball, if you played in Pee Wee League, elementary school, junior high school, everybody wants to be in the starting five. But aside from that, players want to know what their roles are. Like if you're a dude that you're going to come in 10 minutes a game and that's your role and you know what you're supposed to do, you come in to rebound or you come in to shoot or whatever your role is, that's important, especially in the NBA in an 82-game season. It's important for players to know what their roles are. And Tom Thibodeau's been with regard to defining roles for the players. And I think that's part of Emmanuel Quickley's issue right now. He doesn't have a set role. He keeps trying to play point guard and he's not a point guard. When he comes in the game and just plays guard and lets somebody else run the point, he plays better. When he's playing off the ball, when he's getting his shots and getting in position where he can create a shot off a pass from a point guard, he plays a lot better. When he's just trying to find his shot, he uses up a lot of the clock. And he's supposed to be setting up the offense. He uses up a lot of the clock and generally takes a lot of bad shots and doesn't put players in position where they can get their best shot all the time because he's not a point guard. So the key here, though, is Derrick Rose has got to assume, Deuce is probably not going to play a lot, but Derrick Rose has got to assume a lot of the point guard responsibilities, as he should with being a vet that he is. And IQ should play more off the ball. That's a key for Mobb Deep coming out of their funk, in my opinion. And so you still have Isaiah Hartenstein. He's going to be consistent because, again, he knows what his role is. His role is to back up Mitchell Robinson. That's his role. His role is to hustle. His role is to pass and occasionally hit a three. That's his role, and he plays it well. So we know what his role is. Obi's role is set also. We like, some of us, me, would like Obi to start and play more minutes, but that's not going to happen. Julius Randle's playing at a high level right now, so Obi's got to come off the bench. That's his role. That's been his role. So he knows that. Okay, Cam's roles coming off the bench also, so they kind of know their roles. It'd be good if they all got that consistent rotation minutes, so that they can do their thing, knowing when they're gonna come in, knowing what it is. Having to be on edge in some of the toughest situations, and this is what I'm saying. I hope Tibbs consistently outlines these guys' roles. If all of a sudden he puts Deuce in. Now, Deuce is one of my favorite players on the team, but it's inconsistent to put quickly in this position. Then all of a sudden take him out. That's not cool. You got to establish a role. And that's one of Tibbs' weaknesses. Okay. But for most part, they got a role. But Quick is a key piece of Mobb Deep. So he's got to establish a set role. And he should allow D-Rose or Deuce, if they're in the game, to run the point and let him be the off guard, because he's more effective that way on both sides of the basketball. So that's going to be a key to watch for tonight. And so we can't take these guys lightly. Cade and Ivy are young players. They're going to want to make a name for themselves in Madison Square Garden tonight. Cade had 18 points, 10 assists in that win over Orlando. Jaden Ivey had 19 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. So, he was 8 of 15 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3. Really good game. Offensively, I don't know how he played defensively, but, they're going to come guns blazing today. It's good for the Knicks to have that. Again, this being their home opener, I'm expecting Jalen Brunson to be prepared. I'm confident that he will be. I'm expecting Julius Randle to play the way he was playing in preseason and the way he started this season. Continue to play within the flow. Don't force anything. Take the shots that you have that are given to you. Rotate on defense. Rebound strong. He's been doing that very well. I'm hoping Mitchell Robinson avoids foul trouble. I'm pretty confident he should be able to do that as well now. Things like that. RJ, he starts slow, but as I said, some of y'all go overboard and act like his whole career is 3 for 18. That's some BS. No, it's not. Okay. So I'm expecting him to come back tonight. I mean, I know he's worked really hard between these two games. That's just how he is. And so I'm expecting him to come back and be ready to go tonight at full tilt. Evan Fournier, I'm just looking for him to be steady like he was the other night. Evan Fournier is what he is. Okay. If he is hot, he can drop 40. He has done that last year a couple of times. Okay. He's in his prime. And so if he's hot, but I'm expecting that consistent 14 points, high IQ play. Don't leave yourself vulnerable on defense as much as you can, things like that. I'm really looking for Cam to come in off the bench and help us out there a lot. But, Evan, if he can be consistent, knock down the open threes that he gets, that would be, that'll be good. So I'm expecting the Knicks win tonight. And depending on how well RJ really plays, that's really a key here. If RJ comes out and plays the way I think he's going to play, then this could win pretty handily today. If he comes out and struggles, it could be, they'll still win. But the question to me is how much, by how much. So I'm expecting the Knicks win tonight at Madison Square Garden. I'm not going to see the game live, but I'm going to review the game tomorrow night after Shabbat. And we'll look at the game a couple of times and see how everything rolls. And then we'll come back on Sunday and we'll talk about what happened tonight and what has been happening this week with the Knicks and whatever other news comes out between now and then. But please be safe out there wherever you are tonight on Friday. Be safe. Enjoy yourself, but be safe. Be cool. Stay healthy. You and your family. Have a good weekend. Shalom.